everybody, welcome back to Two Turtles Homestead. We're beginning our 4th year on the homestead, so we figured we would just do a quick walkthrough of everything we've got going on. Figured we'd start out here in the food forest that got away from us this year. We actually have 4 sections of food forest. This area right through here, I just walked down through here. We planted this first along with a garden area here where we grow our green beans and our Jerusalem artichoke. And we got all those plants planted, and then we started quickly after that. We did another section down through here, and then we jumped over. After we got these planted, we decided, hey, we might as well plant some more. We kind of did the same thing. We did our guilds. We've got some daffodils in here, some garlic around the base of the trees, and comfrey next to each guild. And it's on this hill right here, so this kind of helps break up the water flows. The water flows off, and out of the gutters of the house, it kind of gets caught up in all this. Our last one down here, we might have done that one first and then this one, I can't remember. We'll go right up over here where we have the little arbor. I guess you could call that an arbor. And right in here is our asparagus beds, which we, the first year did okay. You know, the plants, once you plant them, take a couple years for the roots to really take off, and then you start getting a good amount to pick and harvest. But you can see we let some of these just grow up. You can't pick it all the first few years. And we'll let that root system establish, and by this spring, we should be able to come out here every day or every other day for a little bit and have some fresh asparagus. The first year we did wildflowers here, and then we've changed it up and planted more asparagus because you can't go wrong having more asparagus. Down here we did another little garden, little L-shaped garden. Our okra grows really good in this bed because in the summer this gets full sun, and it will get kind of dry down in here. The okra seems to really thrive in this one. It is a turnip. So we got us a little turnip. We'll have that with supper this evening. Put that in the old pocket.
Tomorrow for the New Year's.
Yeah, put that in the old pocket. And then right down here, I think we still have some sweet potatoes planted in there, but that's sunflowers and wildflowers and just miscellaneous. We'll just throw whatever down in there every once in a while. And then our final little food forest area, which is kind of my favorite, has Kathy's granddad's old tractor. Has a mulberry tree here. An apricot, which I love apricots. I hope it'll do good. Maybe this year we'll get some off of it. And it has some blackberries, but the raspberries, I don't remember the name, but the raspberries are my favorite. They're so sweet and has a really good raspberry flavor. These do bear twice a year. You get a bunch in the spring and quite a bit in the fall. And then you can see down from my wood shop, when my little bucket gets full of sawdust and stuff, sometimes I'll take it up to the chickens, but if I don't have a lot and I just need to empty a bucket, I'll just meander out here for a little bit and throw some old wood shavings around that help break down and feed my little girl right there. That kind of covers the food forest area, just kind of a quick, it's not real pretty in the winter, but it's a good time to catch up with the mess. You could get it back under control and you don't have to fight the grass every day trying to grow. The main thing is to get ahead of it, stop it now to make next spring a whole lot easier. Okay, in this section on the opposite side of the driveway of the food forest, when you come in the gate, when we bought the place, you couldn't even see up in here. It was full of trees and bushes and shrubs, snakes and all kinds of stuff. But we finally got it cleaned out halfway decent. We still got a lot to do. What Kathy would like to do, and I would too, is maybe right beside the edge of the driveway here is do maybe a row or two of some grapes, do some grapevines in here, and then we will probably just on the other side of that, when we get to putting the fence around the rest of the property, put the fence on this other side, and I believe it would be some good area for pasture. Handy dandy shed workshop that we had put in, glad to have it. And then we'll come on up here to the chicken coop. Quick look at the chicken yard and show you how we do, I call it the lazy man's compost, because we're here in East Tennessee and have a lot of hills. We get over here out of the wind a little bit. When we laid out the chicken yard, of course, this was all cedar trees when we bought the property, and I left some of these bigger trees just laying on the ground, and I've kind of terraced it. with the trees. You can see the main one here. There's some throughout. I would really like to have left a few more, which I could always come back in here and add some. I dump some wood chips and sand usually at the top. Now today, those piles of dirt up there, when we had our pond cleaned out, that was a bunch of the muck that was in the bottom of it. So I brought that up, and what'll happen is that's on the top of the hill. The chickens will get up there and scratch around, and it'll mix with some sand, some wood chips, and by the time it gets washed down here, it'll start getting caught up in some of these trees that I have laying on the ground and make some great topsoil. I'll kind of dig out a little spot here to kind of show you what it looks like, because we have a lot of chert here, chert and clay, and we don't have much topsoil up here on this hill. But right here, I'll show you.
The ladies know.
The ladies know. There might be some worms in here now. All that's come off the top of the hills, this is about a year's worth. Look at that. See, and then you just take that soil, and we'll take this and put it on our gardens and amend our soil. But then when you get it's broke down a little bit better by the time the stuff that gets down there. And the chickens love it. Girl, let me see if we can get you a worm, huh?
There's Red. She's the worm catcher.
Oh, look, got the. She'll find something.
There is.
But it's real loose, and should be full of all kinds of nutrients by the time we get it out of here. When we clean out the chicken coop about once a week, we just throw everything right out of here and just let it break down, and the chickens will scratch through it. So this would be real nitrogen rich. But you can see that's a whole lot better than if you look at that. But if you look at that hillside right up there, it's just rocks and chert. So all that stuff gets caught right here and makes some beautiful soil. And look at the chicken scratching through there. You come out here and flip the soil, get a little air into it, and to help aerate a little bit, now they'll do the rest of the work for you. And that's all I have to do for compost. It just sits out here and let them do most of the work. I'm getting a little age on me now, so I don't really feel like shoveling a bunch of stuff all the time.
I just wanted to take a few moments while we're in the chicken yard and talk about why we have our run set up into two different sections. We have decided to, hello, Mr. Man. We've decided to breed our own chickens this year for 2024. And so we have selected the American breast chicken. They are a true dual purpose bird, and they've just been lovely. We hatched them out in March of 2023, and so going forward, we're going to start at the end of February and start hatching our own chickens for meat and for eggs. And so I would say if anybody's looking for a dual purpose chicken, I would highly recommend the breast chickens, because they are, like I said, the roosters are very pleasant, very prolific in the egg laying. So I'm going to take you in here and show you our breeding/brooding setup that we're going to do. And so currently we have 3 varieties of the breast. We have the standard white American breast, and then we have the black American breast, and then we also have the blue American breast. And I'm not sure, there's one of the blue ladies right there. I'm not sure where, there's beautiful blue inside there. He's so pretty. So we have to keep them separate for breeding purposes. So that's why the yard is separated. So we have this one black guy over here right now. This Mr. guy didn't make it through the breeding selection process, but it's not because of how he looks or any of his standards are really pretty, but he is not, he doesn't have the disposition that I want to have with my roosters going forward. So we have these 2 roosters. That is our main guy right there, Mr. Duke, and that is Sweet Prince there. He is going to be our backup. And so let me take you in here and I'll show you. We originally, there's our ladies in there. We originally had this set up as breeding pens. Hello, girl. And so we had 3 pens here, and we were going to separate them in here for breeding purposes. So we really don't like this setup. So what we're going to do is Jim is going to go in and he's going to take these breeding pens out, and he's going to build me a brooder across the top here, and it'll probably be about this high for the brooder. We'll leave the underneath, we'll leave open just for them to have some run around. We may put nesting boxes under there, but so when we hatch out all of the baby chicks, then we'll brood them in here. So we're going to redesign this here in the next couple of months before we get to hatching. And so we expect to be hatching about the end of February. So we got to get to busy on that. So that is a look at our Poultry Palace here, and we do house our heritage breed bourbon red turkeys. We hatched out several of them this year. We'll be processing some of them in a couple of weeks. This is my sweet lady. She's you can say she is the American breast white, and she just is so sweet and so pretty and so friendly. She just likes for me to hold her and walk around with her. What you think, girl? You having a good day? Has it been a good day for you? Let's head up to the greenhouse and get a look at what we got going on in the greenhouse over there. Well, welcome to the greenhouse. It's a balmy little 85 degrees in here today. It's a little hot, and glasses I think are fogging up a little bit. But this is our greenhouse, and it is, like I said, a 20 by 24 greenhouse. Not huge, but it's big enough for us. We grow all of our most all of our eating vegetables are grown in here. And this was the first year that we did fall and winter crops. And as you can see, my broccoli here has started to bolt because we had a really warm December. So but we have raised beds in here, and I'm about to come in and I'm going to harvest everything that's harvestable in here. And then we're going to put these beds to rest. We have brought some compost in from the chicken yard, and so I'm going to be harvesting all of the kohlrabi and the pak choi and a couple cabbages that are ready to go, and then we're just going to mix in all of the compost and put that to bed for a few weeks before we start planting again, probably in late February. But one thing about the greenhouse, I mean, or the high tunnel, it takes some getting used to growing in here. It grows differently than it does in the open field, and so I'm still learning that process. One thing is that it doesn't get any open air rain, so it doesn't wash out all of the nutrients. So, you know, I mistakenly thought that it didn't get enough nutrients, but it can get a nutrient buildup. So that's one of the things we have to watch out for. And then, as Jim says, it's like having a child. You have to watch it and monitor it constantly. And so we have to get out here and roll the sides up when it's hot, warm, like a day like today, where it may only be 40 degrees outside, but it's 80 degrees in here. So that's why my broccoli bolted, and some of the pak choi bolted too. And then we had, I think some of the chickens got in here and ate some of the meat, just as I suspected. Turkeys are in here eating my greens. Get out of here, ladies. Shoo. Let's go. Out, 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 out. Go. Go. And then we did have a little bit of pest pressure this year in here as well. So those are just all the things that we're learning, but I'm happy to have it. It's a wonderful growing space for all of our vegetables that we eat. And so I'm looking forward to my 2024 garden in here. Doggone turkeys, I knew that's what they were doing. And just down from the high tunnel greenhouse is Jim's Old-Fashioned Smokehouse that he built. This is where we smoke all of our meat that we process on the homestead.
And the smokehouse is doing great. It as far as the build of it, I don't think I would change anything. I like the size. We've smoked quite a bit of sausage and stuff in here. It's holding up well. I guess the only thing I would do different is maybe finish it. Well, since I put my barrel, my fire barrel over on the side, you know, it gets all the rain and stuff. It's kind of rusting up a little bit. It's not bad, but before maybe it might be the spring, I don't know. As soon as I can get to it, I've got this piece of tin here that was left over, and I need to build a little shed roof over this just to keep this off. I should have done it at something a little bit different, maybe put a bigger shed roof over here where I could stack some wood. I guess that'd be the only thing I'd do different.
Maggie just waits for stuff to be brought out of there.
She does.
Let's look inside. Oh, it smells like smoking.
Oh, it smells so good. I love walking by it.
And that is Jim's Old-Fashioned Smokehouse.
Yeah.
Check out that video down below.
Yeah. And you can probably see all the cracks and this, that, and other, but in this type of smokehouse is a cold smokehouse. You actually want air to get in there. It don't need to be air-free and real tight. You want the fresh air to get in and around everything. I'm super happy we got the pond done this year. I don't know if we were planning on it this year, or if we was, I know it was in our 5-year plan somewhere, but I don't.
The pond was planned for year 5 to do a full restoration and maybe an extension of the pond, but an opportunity presented itself to do the restoration this year.
Yeah.
And so we took advantage of it.
We did, and then due to equipment failures, we couldn't quite finish it the way we wanted it, just because the bigger excavator kept breaking down. It was under warranty, but they sent the gentleman that did it, they sent him a smaller one out, and he couldn't quite reach out there and dig out the middle of it.
And it's not a big pond. It's about, we figured about
an eighth of an acre. Be a good little bluegill pond, but right now it's probably about 4.5 foot deep.
On past the pond is going to be another grazing pasture that Jim is diligently working to restore, or not restore. Well, I think we're in the reclaiming.
Reclaiming is more of the word, I think, because yep. At one time, 30 some odd plus years ago, this was a farm, homestead, and it was all pasture, except for where you see a lot of the hardwood trees. But where all the cedar trees that you can see on site or on the camera, it was all pasture. And of course, you know, over years of neglect, I wouldn't say neglect it, the people that bought it used it for hunting property and just let it grow up. And of course, the cedars just took over the world, and we're gonna try to get it back from them. And then you could kind of see where, if Kathy will pan around, like this is all the muck. Not all of it, but this is where I just dumped some of the muck where he pulled it out of the pond. I just pulled my tractor up over there, he'd fill my bucket up. I dumped it here and some more over there. And this is what I'm gradually taking up to the chicken yard. And it's a lot of clay and stuff, and I'll dump sand in with it, and they'll mix it up and turn it to compost. And but the cedars got to go.
And our property goes back about another probably 500 yards or so.
Yeah, 500 yards probably past the hill. These here are buck tracks from deer. See these two back here? That's a buck running up through here. They're pretty decent size for here. But see these, I don't know, I think they call them dew claws or something. These back here, but if it's does only have these two and won't have that. Come down, got some fresh water out of the pond.
All right, the last thing I wanted to show y'all in our zone 0 is my summer kitchen. We call it the summer kitchen. Ideally, it's where all of the canning and food processing. Sorry, who's going to catch the breath from that hike from the pond? Anyway, so this is where all of our food processing is done up in here. And it's a nice little area. We got a mini split in here so it stays climate controlled. But I do summer canning in here. We do meat meat butchering and processing in here, and then we have a freezer and an extra fridge in here that we keep at 35 degrees.
Show them the bacon. We got
for cold storage.
We've been curing some bacon. I'm letting it dry. Gonna throw it on the smoker, the hot smoker today. So we cured our belly and we'll be getting it in there. I got some of last year's garlic in here. We've got apples from our visit to the apple orchard. It's our cold storage. Yep. Cold storage, some comfrey roots. Yeah, now we got some comfrey drying right here. And then that is my seed starting set up right there. I'm hoping to expand that this year too, because my plan is to seed start everything that we grow this year. No, we're not buying any plant starts. I'm going to start them all myself. So that's a look at that. Say hello, Maggie. No. Hello, Maggie. She's the best little farm dog there is. I just wanted to point out that the high tunnel is where we grow most of our eating vegetables. The chickens, the smokehouse, the food forests are all within 30 feet of our house. So that's I believe zone 0 in the permaculture world, which makes it easier to tend to. Oh yeah, smokehouse over there, and then these are our figs. And 2 of them are Chicago Cold Hardy. The other one is Turkey Tail. So our plan going forward, we built the back porch this year. Plan is to finish that, and then eventually, over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, we're going to build this out into a patio, and again adding more layers of food forest, herbs with a built-in true outdoor kitchen, barbecue, smoker, and pizza oven / bread oven. Any advice that I could give anybody if you're doing a project, finish it to 100%, 100% completion. Because you get to 95, you get to 95%. Did a carpenter say that? And I haven't finished the kitchen. We still have to underpin it and insulate the bottom. And I look out here every day, and one of these days I'll do it. That is my daily, not daily, I'd say about every quarterly, I'll say, can I just have one thing that's completely finished? No. You get a lot going on. That's true. Get it real close if you don't finish, but you'll feel better if you finish. Take a few extra days or a week or 2. 100%, and then might make your life a little happier. Your wife, yeah, your wife a little happier. Happy wife, which makes your life happier. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, baby! I got you on my mind. We'll walk across the Father's Day Bridge, go down this side of the property. Our future thoughts on this side are to build a barn. At one time, years back, there was a barn right there where all the growth is and the concrete. They had a barn there with some cows and horses and stuff, but I think we're going to leave that there. It's pretty close to the road. We're not going to do anything with that, maybe clean it up. Probably going to put a smaller barn right in here, kind of this flat area, to do with whatever you do with barns. And then all the cedars on this hillside several years from now are going to be cut down. I got some other areas I'm going to work on first, but as soon as we can, we're going to start with the woven wire fence, which is going to start on that corner of the property over by the road. Is going to come up. I have to clean a path up through the cedars. Because our property goes to the top of the ridge. Yeah, our property goes to the top of the ridge. They probably can't see it from here. But we're going to get the fence in first, and that way we could get some sheep out here to help keep the brambles and everything, help start getting the property cleaned up and help keep it clean. Get the barn built. Got a nice pile of wood chips there to go onto the food forest. Pretty deep ravine over here just from years of washing that I'm just kind of cutting trees down and throwing in there and kind of help filling it up. It was about 7, 8 foot deep in some areas. And we'll just let that rot and go back to nature.
And it helps with the erosion.
It does help with the erosion.
And it's a good habitat.
All the birds, squirrels,
rabbits,
all that good stuff. Last year, we actually had 3 Idaho pasture pigs.
2022 last year.
2022, yeah. But I started the pigs on that end. I kind of brought them up through here. I'd give them a little bit of pasture and a little bit of woods.
They did a fantastic job.
And they did a good job. They kind of helped clean it up. And then I'd come back behind after that, after they'd get the brambles down and cut some more trees and stuff. So we're gradually getting our edges back.
As we said, we're in reclamation phase right now.
Yeah. Then back in here,
we feel like we're going to keep that probably wild, natural.
Yeah.
It's mostly hardwoods once you get to this area, and it's just really pretty. But we'll reclaim all the pasture back, you know, on this
back to
through
the
there,
property line.
To our property line, yeah.
There's some jump trees in there we'll cut out, but we'll get it where we get some sun in there.
Where is it? That great big cedar tree right there is the property line, and it kind of goes up that way. And that's an old rabbit hutch that somebody gave us, so we're maybe going to add rabbits next year just for fertilizer, not for food. And over this side, dotted all the way down this side, is our elderberry plants. They are wild. They were here. We found them when we got here, and so we've just been keeping them cleaned up and harvesting from them and taking good care of those wild elderberry. We have transplanted a few of them throughout the property. And
actually, we put them in the chicken yard.
Yep.
Right close to the wire fences.
Yep.
And where the logs are. And they actually grew up real well, added a little shade this year. The chickens love them.
And they're healthy.
And they're healthy for them. So I'll just put them in there and give them some greenery, give them a little shade in the summertime. And
But again, we're reclaiming this whole hillside will be pasture.
Yeah. This one will be pretty easy to clean up. It's going to be one of the easiest ones actually with that machine. We can't really afford to pay somebody to come in here and cut it all and do all that. So we just have to do it on our own, in our own time.
A little bit at a time.
Be good stewards of the land and do the best we can do with it.
Baby steps. We got to be a couple turtles.
Yeah.
And this is the very back part of our property. We go all the way up to the ridge line.
Yeah.
All the way up there.
All the way up to the skyline.
All the way up to the top. And we have long-term dreams, our goals. Long-term goal is to build an off-grid cabin back here. Very small, 1 room, old-fashioned, old-timey.
Oh yeah, 10 by 12, something to throw a bed in, a little wood stove, and just come back here and get away from everything.
Just a place to get back and relax, or even maybe one day Airbnb it.
Yeah.
Just depends on what happens with the world.
Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite spots.
It is one of my favorite spots too. It's really very pretty back here. It's almost all hardwoods. There are some old growth cedars and pine trees back here.
Yeah. Straight up.
Yeah.
Save us some.
Oh, you don't want to go up that way?
Is that all right?
You don't want to go up the road?
I don't want to.
Okay.
But let's go this way. Let's make our own path, baby.
That's right.
We're up on the ridge behind the house, which we call the middle finger.
Yep, and the property goes probably another 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards that way.
Oh yeah, it goes a good little bit up through there. We cut this down, I guess, last winter.
Yeah.
But a lot of the bigger stumps you see down through here, Actually saved logs, cut them about 9 or 10 foot, and built the fence across the front of the property.
And we'll leave a link to the fence video.
Yeah. Coming on down, back behind the house, which you could probably see, but it's a beautiful view up here. And especially in the evening, the sun sets across the way over there, and you get some pretty spectacular sunsets up here. It catches a lot of wind up on this hill though.
It does.
There's the 2 Lennies. What is it, huh? Well, I don't know about you, baby, but I'm about ready for some coffee.
Yeah. Well, thanks for following us along on our tour of our 25-acre property, our homestead here. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you like our content, we hope that you'll subscribe and follow us along on this crazy journey that we're on.
Thanks for coming along.
We have a lot more in store for you in 2024.
We do. And a little bit of construction stuff.
Yes, we do.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.